All right, I'm going to be breaking down the best things about Nick Bosa, who there's a lot to talk about, but I want to start off just highlighting some plays that just show the special bend that he has. And whenever he comes off the edge, he is able to always get to the outside because he has great speed. But once he makes contact, he is able to get separation and bend to flatten out his route to get to the quarterback. And we're going to see this even better here from the end zone view. This is the same play. They're going to bring the running back over to chip off of the play action fake. So you can see here, this is what we're talking about bend. I have a couple other plays that will show it as well, where he can plant on the outside and use his leverage to flatten his route out towards the quarterback, which this is what makes him so special as a pass rusher and the most complete pass rusher in this draft by far. And not only does he have that, but watch his hands here. He's coming off the bottom of the screen here. And whenever he makes contact, he just disappears and slides right past the tackle. So watch as the hands engage. He is using his hands to go opposite of his hip movement and basically almost like a dancing partner to gain this separation. Once he gets here, it's over just because he can flatten out. And then, of course, the closing. You know, he has 17.5 career sacks. And before he got injured, he had 4 sacks in 3 games this past season. Here we'll see him again just with his hands. Engages fine. You know, you'd like him to be a little bit more on the shoulder, which he does most often is attack half a man. You usually don't want your pass rusher or any of your D linemen hitting head up with the offensive tackle. It just, you lose leverage. And so, but what he is able to do is, again, you can kind of see, you wish this hand wasn't on the outside there, but he is going to use his leverage and power through this outside foot and then get back upfield. You can see how he's constantly working, even though he's being engaged on this outside shoulder. He's using all of that force. I mean, you can just see the way that his body is bent here to get back towards the quarterback. Now, this one is probably one of my favorite plays because of how he stacks the tackle, okay? He gets here, but this is one of the finishing moves that a lot of pass rushers have a hard time. They can get past the tackle or get even with the tackle. But what Bosa's able to do here is stack them to where there is no making up for this tackle. You cannot regain territory or regain pace to get back. By that point, it's already over. Let's show it again just from a different perspective here. You can see how he releases inside of the tight end here that's off the line. But as soon as he makes contact, as soon as he does, he gets his separation, but then he's going to rip his hand here. You can kind of see how he rips his hand up so that the tackle can have nothing to get his hands on, because if he gets his hands on anything at that point, he's pushing him in the back and into the quarterback. Now, this next one's great because, again, this is going to be one of the last bend plays that I show you. He's coming off the top. And once he makes this contact there, look at the leverage, how low he gets to the ground, and is driving all of this through this outside foot to create his angle and his leverage to flatten out towards the quarterback. Again, this is against one of the better coached offensive line teams in the NFL, Wisconsin. But as soon as he makes his contact, this is what I'm talking about whenever I say attack half a man. You can see his hat here on the outside shoulder or the upfield shoulder of the tackle. He is going against about a quarter of what this offensive tackle's strength is on this side. And as soon as he does, low man wins. You hear that all the time. Uses his hands to get off. Quarterback can't step into the throw. Here's just another perspective of, again, attacking this half a man. As soon as he engages with this offensive tackle, again, he's not running in head up. He is attacking that shoulder, and then from there, what can you do? Uses his speed, power, everything else. Go get the quarterback. Doesn't get the sack there, but again, it's an incomplete pass, and so you just kind of move on. This play right here is probably this is what makes Bosa special. This highlights almost all 5. There's plenty more than that. Number 1 is just this elite first step / get off. Watch how quick, Bosa's here at the bottom of the screen. Watch how quick he gets off. And again, he's a full yard ahead of everybody else. He's a full yard in front of everybody else on the defensive line. Then, not only that, attacks half of a man. His hands, as soon as he engages, he throws his hands, he uses it to get separation. gets the offensive lineman hands off. Look at this leverage again. Incredible bend. Low man wins. He's already picked his target towards the quarterback. He is not going to continue to get upfield. One of the most common mistakes of pass rushers is they will just keep with their momentum going upfield. Bosa is terrific at never getting behind the quarterback. In fact, his leverage and his bend is so sharp here that he undercuts the quarterback. He goes too flat. The quarterback could have stepped up here, but again, he takes off this inside route, and then there's not going to be a lot of quarterbacks that can complete that outside of a screen pass. It's just kind of what it is. All right, again, up top here, just pay attention to the way in which the arms never touch Bosa. He's at the top of the screen. Watch this offensive tackle try to reach him, and as soon as he tries to make contact, it's over because Bosa is knocking the hands away consistently of offensive tackles, and whenever he does that, it's almost impossible to block him from the outside. Now, let's say you want to make up for that, and as an offensive tackle, you want to get better depth and create a better angle. Well, Bosa's terrific at the inside. It's never enough for a pass rusher just to have one move, one speed rush to the outside, because eventually they can cut that off. So he also has a great swim move. He presses to the outside, uses his hips and hands, gets skinny in the hole. You can see how he turns his entire hip. He gets skinny so that he can get through, and as soon as he does that, I mean, you disrupt the passing game. Even if the guard comes over, this play is disrupted by the outside pass rush. Again, you can see him there, gets his hands up, not going to work. Again, from the other side, he can do it from both the defensive left and defensive right. He creates contact, uses that to come inside, gets the sack right there. This is one of those things that just shows he is a complete defensive player. Again, just on this one, pay attention at the top of the screen and how fast his get off is here. He's at the very top of the screen. Again, a full yard in front of everybody else because they understand he's a speed rusher first. So the offensive blocker gets depth, but he almost gets too much depth. So then he can go to the inside. And this is a screen pass. You're not supposed to really get in their way too much. You're just supposed to slow them down. But Bosa's so quick off the line that he can destroy a screen pass off of a swim move, which is saying a lot. Now, let's pay attention to the run game here. You're going to see him. He gets blocked inside, and the offensive key, you know, he's lined up right on top of this guy, and he's going to kind of tell you where the ball's going. So the offensive tackle here, you got a tight end here. He's lined up on the outside shoulder of this guy, and that's going to be kind of his under-run key. Now, once they do this block exchange, that should tell you where the ball's going. He gets washed down inside, but he doesn't quit. And another important thing is he does not get upfield. When you are out of position on the defensive line, it is very important not to continue penetrating or to continue going where they're blocking you. Rather, retrace your steps and try to stay parallel to the line of scrimmage so that you can help your team out. So, again, he gets washed down a little bit, but recognizes the play, spins out of it, and stays parallel to the line of scrimmage. He never got moved off the ball and stops the game there. That is a perfect two-gap run play on the outside. If we stay with the run game, again, you can see him here. This is awesome because as he is engaged here, pay attention to his hat. His hat is on the outside shoulder, but he's not going to stay there. Rather, he is able to dip under. This is awesome. This is kind of a post-shed play here. You see this a lot with interior defensive linemen. You lock up the blocker, and then you lift and you shed. He rips underneath and makes the play on the inside gap. This is not his gap. But what he's doing here, and Ohio State is very, very famous for this, they allow their studs to read line blocks and play two gaps. And they're saying, man, our defensive line's good enough that these backers can handle it and make them right. But in this situation, Bosa's basically playing two positions because he had the outside gap, but as soon as he goes inside because he felt the block, he's able to get a tackle for loss there. He had 29 tackles for loss on his career at Ohio State. Again, on the outside here, watch him set the edge. They bring over an additional blocker here, and as soon as the block, he's getting double teamed here. But he is able to fight off of this and still maintain the edge pressure. Now, he's not going to get the tackle on this play, but that's not necessarily his job. His job is this defender against doubles with basically a tray set is what you can call it, but you have 3 guys. You can treat this as a tight end, wing, it doesn't matter, and you have 3 defenders. So what you're going to want to do on this outside line play here, he's going to have outside contain to turn everything back inside to these backers. That's his job there. So he gets connected. He's not outside yet. So right now he's in trouble. However, he fights parallel to the line of scrimmage. You don't get depth on this play, and you string it out. By turning it inside, he doesn't get credit for the tackle, but his team makes the play. This is going to show you the down the line discipline. Again, you can see how, he's on the wide side of the field. And again, he is an edge player that has to turn everything inside. Once the ball's snapped, he reads your block. It's a down block. However, things go wrong. Watch him turn his hips, sink his hips, and turn. This is almost like a corner play trying to get back outside. Watch Bosa right here. He reads the play. He washes the line down, recognizes what's going on. Here he is, 97 right here, sinks his hips, turns, and again, he does not get upfield. That does you no good. It's a terrible pursuit angle. Instead, sprint straight out. Now, the ball carrier falls down, but even if he didn't here, this is just pure discipline, and it's absolutely incredible technique how he just turns and runs straight down the line. This is a defensive pursuit drill. That is just perfect. Great coaching, great execution here, and here we go. We got one more play here. This is just defensive awareness against a zone read. He gets unblocked, and they are reading him. However, the quarterback drops the ball, and he is smart enough. He has the quarterback here or the dive, and takes his eyes off and is able to get the fumble recovery there. And the last play, man, you always want a dog in your fight. A little bit of fight in your dog. Sorry about that. And what you can see here, he gets double teamed at the top of the screen, and he gets pretty pissed off. He gets so mad, in fact, that he decides to take it off on somebody else. Don't watch the play. And that's Joey Bosa. So hopefully you enjoyed this. If you did, go ahead and hit subscribe to @JL_Chapman, @JL_Chapman on Twitter. I got a lot more of these coming up, and look forward to the NFL draft. Thanks, guys.